If you've seen recent headlines about changes in U.S. immigration discussions, this video is for educational purposes to help you understand how policy decisions actually work in America. There has been recent public conversation about the structure of federal immigration agencies. But here is the most important fact: no immigration law has changed. In the United States, federal agencies operate under laws passed by Congress. Any structural change requires a formal legislative process. That process includes a bill being introduced, debate in the House of Representatives, approval in the Senate, and finally, a presidential signature. Without those steps, no agency structure changes. As of today, immigration courts continue operating normally. Application processing continues. Work authorization reviews continue. Green card and citizenship cases continue under existing regulations. Public discussion does not automatically equal policy change. In democratic systems, people often debate how government agencies operate. That debate is part of the political process. However, policy only changes when formal legislation is passed. For immigrants currently living in the United States, the key takeaway is simple. Your case continues under current law unless an official government announcement states otherwise. In the next section, we'll look at how public opinion can sometimes influence future legislative conversations, and what that realistically means. So why are more Americans expressing support for structural changes to immigration enforcement? To understand that, we need to look at how public opinion works in the United States. In a democracy, people regularly debate how government agencies operate. That includes discussions about efficiency, oversight, funding, and structure. When surveys show a shift in opinion, it does not mean the system changes overnight. It simply means more people are participating in the conversation. Sometimes those conversations are influenced by media coverage, sometimes by election cycles, and sometimes by broader national concerns about border management and case backlogs. But here's what's important. Public opinion alone cannot rewrite federal law. For any major structural change to happen, Congress would need to introduce formal legislation. That proposal would go through committee review, debate, amendments, voting in both chambers, and then require presidential approval. That process is designed to be deliberate, not instant. Right now, there is no confirmed legislation that has passed restructuring any major immigration enforcement agency. There is also no executive order announcing an immediate operational change. That means current procedures remain in place. If you have a pending asylum case, a family petition, an employment-based application, or a naturalization process underway, your case continues under existing rules. Court calendars remain active. Application reviews continue. Interview scheduling continues. It's very important not to confuse political discussion with legal action. However, public opinion trends can influence what lawmakers choose to prioritize in future sessions. If immigration becomes a central campaign issue, proposals related to agency structure, funding adjustments, or oversight reforms could be introduced for debate. That does not guarantee passage, but it does mean the conversation could become more visible in the coming months. And that's where staying informed, with verified information, becomes critical. And that's exactly why understanding the difference between discussion and decision is so important. In the United States, policy conversations often move in stages. First comes public discussion, then media coverage. After that, lawmakers may introduce proposals. And only after debate and voting does anything officially change. We are currently in the discussion stage, not the decision stage. Now let's talk about something practical. Many immigrants worry when they hear about structural debates involving federal agencies. They wonder, will my case be delayed? Will enforcement increase? Will court schedules change? As of now, there is no official guidance indicating any procedural disruption. Immigration courts continue addressing backlogs. USCIS continues reviewing petitions and applications. Work authorization renewals are still processed according to existing timelines. Adjustment of status interviews are still being scheduled. Administrative systems do not pause because of polling data. Operational changes only occur after formal policy directives. It's also important to understand that immigration enforcement as a function exists in every sovereign nation. The debate in the United States typically focuses on structure, oversight, resource allocation, and accountability, not on eliminating enforcement entirely. Even if future lawmakers were to propose restructuring, that would involve careful planning, transition frameworks, and legal adjustments. Those processes take months, often years, to implement. Nothing in federal governance changes overnight. So for viewers who are currently living, working, or studying in the United States, The most responsible approach is to monitor official announcements from government sources, not react to headlines alone. Staying calm and informed protects you from misinformation. In the next section, we'll look at what realistic future scenarios could look like, and how immigrants can prepare intelligently without assuming worst-case outcomes. So let's talk about realistic future scenarios. If public discussion around immigration enforcement continues to grow, lawmakers could respond in several different ways. One possibility is oversight reform, meaning adjustments in how agencies report their activities or how accountability is structured. Another possibility is funding review, where Congress evaluates budgets and resource allocation. There could also be proposals focused on efficiency improvements, such as reducing court backlogs or modernizing case processing systems. Notice something important. All of these are procedural adjustments, not sudden system shutdowns. When people hear strong headlines, they often imagine immediate and dramatic change. But federal systems are designed for stability. Even when reforms are proposed, they move through structured phases: committee hearings, expert testimony, legal review, budget analysis, and implementation planning. That takes time. And during that time, agencies continue operating under existing authority. For immigrants, the smartest approach is preparation, not panic. Preparation means keeping your documents updated, tracking your case status through official government websites, attending scheduled appointments, and consulting licensed professionals when needed. It does not mean assuming your legal pathway has suddenly disappeared. Historically, even major immigration reforms in the United States have taken months or years from proposal to execution. There is currently no official announcement indicating an immediate structural overhaul. So while political conversations may intensify, administrative operations remain steady. In the final section, we'll bring everything together and clearly outline what this means for you right now and what to watch for moving forward. So let's bring everything together. A recent public poll has sparked conversation about the future structure of immigration enforcement in the United States. But conversation is not legislation. As of today, no federal law has changed. No agency has been dissolved. No eligibility requirements have been modified. No immigration process has been paused. Courts are functioning. Applications are being processed. Interviews are being scheduled. What we are seeing right now is discussion, not decision. And in the American system, decisions require formal legislative steps: proposal, debate, voting, and presidential approval. Until those steps occur, operational systems remain in place. Now here's the key takeaway for immigrants and families watching this video. The most effective strategy is staying informed through verified updates, not reacting to headlines. If formal proposals are introduced, they will be publicly documented. If legislation advances, it will be debated openly. And if any real policy change occurs, there will be official announcements. Immigration systems do not transform overnight. They evolve through law. So instead of worrying about what might happen, focus on what is happening. And right now, existing procedures remain active. If you found this breakdown helpful and want clear, fact-based U.S. immigration updates explained without confusion, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. We focus on verified information so you can make informed decisions with confidence. Thank you for watching. And we'll continue monitoring official developments, so you don't have to guess.